No, but we have to now bring it to the notes. I mean, like, okay, that's fine. They can do it. They know how to do it. They did it. So how do we do it? There needs to be some sort of methodical theoretical system that underpin it. So you wrote a book on figured bass for the guitar, which I thought was really well received and very popular. And you work at the Schola Cantorum, and they have a whole way of, I mean, which is quite historically based, the way they approach this. What is that system? Because most people, when they take classical guitar or the classical music in general, the pianists as well, it's they just, this whole system doesn't even exist for them. So what is that system that they used?
Okay, that's a great question, and the scholar would probably like me to say, if you want to know, come to the scholar. But I will reveal the secrets. So there are a ton of there's a ton of there's a ton of pedagogical material from the 16th and 17th century. And I will run over and grab something to show you,
Yeah,
because
sure.
anybody can learn it. It's all written down. So one of the first sources, and basically it's pedagogical approach to learning to do exactly what you asked, is this.
Okay.
It's Diego Ortiz, Tratado de Glosas. Tratado is Spanish for treatise, glosas is the diminutions. And he gives you everything you possibly could want to know to begin learning how to do this. So I will open to a particular page. So he gives you a series of intervals.
And what is he Baroque or is he Renaissance?
I'm sorry, his book is from 1553.
Okay.
He was Spanish, but it was published, I'm pretty sure it was published in Rome. Okay,
Not
here
sure
we
if
go.
this is not the right book. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's the facsimile. So now, if I can, these would be good to pop up slides, but in any case.
Is this it? Okay. I'll show yours. Let me show yours. Yeah. Okay.
So basically, if you look at the first, you see, now he doesn't have a clef, but let's call that a treble clef.
Okay.
So he's saying, okay, everybody, if you have a C, a long C and a long D, what should we do with it? Well, number one, we go da ba 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 bum, and then the second version is da da dee da 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 dum ba dum ba da dum. Third version da 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 dee da 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 dee da 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 dum, and the whole book is full of that. So this is the this is the second, and then he'll give you the third, the fourth down, fifth. He'll give you melodies. So he's basically, with this book from 1553, teaching people how to move from one long note to the next long note. And this is just one book. I don't know how many there are. There's maybe like 12 or 15. There's Ganassi in 1535. I already mentioned Ganassi. He does this too, but it's absolutely bonkers, because you have Ortiz is a great place to start because he stays fairly calm. Ganassi is giving you 30-second notes. He's giving you I don't know what it is in English. Quintolin, septolin. Is that English? Like 5 against.
Oh, yeah. Odd groupings. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in German, I think in German it's quintolin or septolin. Maybe that's in English also.
Right.
I lose track.
Yeah.
But in any case, so Ganassi, and then you have Botticelli and Rognoni and Brunelli. So you have a whole series of books that are like jazz guitar books from the late 20th century, where somebody like Joe Pass or Jim Hall will say, these are the licks you can play. These are Renaissance licks. And there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. And so that's the answer to your question. There is a pedagogical methodology starting with Ganassi in 1535.
Okay.
And going through the early 17th century, showing people how to connect the longer notes. And then you have the examples in music, up through Corelli, Tartini, Telemann. So
now, wait a second, Peter. I have to ask you. Now, someone will say, okay, well, but that's the Renaissance. I mean, how does that apply to Baroque music? Do they just seamlessly go from one age into the next?
In terms of diminution playing, you can use things that Diego Ortiz wrote, or Ganassi, or Botticelli. You can use those in the Baroque period also, but you have to adapt them a bit, because when Ortiz, for example, was written, music was primarily modal. And now let's jump to Corelli. Music is, there's still some modality in it, but it's a harmonic music. So you have to adapt it to the fact that harmonies are changing. The basic ways of connecting, of going from one note to the next, didn't change so much, but music changed. So the way we connect, the way we would do a whole phrase would be somewhat different between Corelli and Botticelli, for example. But yeah,
Right.
if you want to learn Baroque improvisation, you can definitely start with Ortiz, because he gives you the basics, and then
Wow.
you just expand it into the more harmonic content of the later music.